All right, so today we've got the Atlas 4-tier rack system made by ShunTong. They're not Chinese, they're actually made in Vietnam, and it says packaged in the United States. I don't know if that makes any difference to anybody. They have a lifetime warranty, and they're made to hold 8,000 pounds total, or 2,000 pounds per shelf. The box says that this package weighs 132.5 pounds, so you're probably gonna need somebody to help you lift it if you're gonna move it very far. And the dimensions are 72 inches wide, which is 6 feet, by 24 inches deep, which is 2 feet, and 72 inches high, which is another 6 feet. If you saw my previous video on setting up the Husky shelves, those are 7.5 feet by 7.5 feet by 2 feet. So these are just a little bit smaller, and these are retailing for just under $300, whereas the Husky shelves I got were just under $400. So these are a little bit smaller. They have 4 shelves instead of 5. Today we're gonna see how easy it is to put these together, and then I'll give you my opinion on how good these are. But my first impression is pretty good because heavier is always better. The only tools I used were a rubber mallet, a pair of dikes, a paint marker, and a utility knife. But you might also want a set of earplugs because it gets pretty loud hammering the pieces together. Here you can see the Husky shelves that I put together just over a year ago, and they've been really great. I wouldn't say that this is 100% organized, so don't worry about that. But these are 7.5 feet tall by 7.5 feet long. The new shelves are gonna be just a little shorter at 6 feet tall and 6 feet long. There's only one spot left in this garage where I can fit these shelves, and it's right here against this wall between this bench and that wall. That is almost exactly 6 feet, so it should be perfect. And then they'll stick out about another 6 inches from this bench, which is fine. I park my Jeep here sometimes, but it shouldn't be close enough to hit. But first, let's open the box and see what's in it. And just like with the other set of shelves, I'm gonna keep the cardboard so I can line a couple of the shelves with it to keep small items from slipping through the grates. So to start with, it looks like we've got all the grates we need right there. These are empty boxes just for padding, I suppose. There are some more grates underneath, and then we have the risers and the cross members. And then these are the end pieces. So it looks like a really simple setup. I'll take a quick look at the instructions just to make sure that I'm not missing anything, and then we'll start putting it all together. I didn't miss anything. The instructions are really simple. The only thing that I will mention is that 2 of the grates are full length and the other 2 levels are split in half. So you could take out one side of those grates if you had something really tall to put there. So that's pretty handy, but other than that, this should be pretty straightforward. One other thing I'll mention is that it did come with these anchors. I don't know if you can see them through the bag. I'm not gonna open this yet. But this is to connect it to the wall in case you have kids or you live in an earthquake zone, which neither of those apply to us anymore. They also came with this sticker that has numbers at the bottom. I'm not sure if that's like a safety certification or a part number or what. The instructions don't say anything about it. So to me, it's just a sticker. You'll need these keyholes pointed down so that the connecting pieces can go in and slide down and lock into place. You really need to make sure that you get all these points in the holes and seated properly before it's safe to use. So double check your work before you move on to the next step, but this is pretty easy. Now I'm ready to start putting in the front and back pieces. And after I get a couple of these in, it should be able to stand up by itself so that I can do everything else without worrying about it falling over. It's already feeling surprisingly sturdy, so I'm going to go ahead and count the holes, make some marks, and then I'll know where to put the rest of the bars. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Okay, so there's 24 holes along the side. The bars will fill up 8 of the holes, so that means we'll have 16 empty ones between 4 shelves. 3 gaps, 16 divided by 3 is 5 1/3. So I'll use my paint marker to make a mark after every 5th empty hole, and then we'll know where to put the rest of the bars. So I made white marks on the outside of where each bar will go. And then at the top, we actually have 3 empty holes. So I'm going to shift this last one to the very top to get the most room. And work to the Y's, do the ones in the back first so you don't get blocked out by the ones in the front. That was the last piece, so just to make sure it's all put together right, I'm going to go over it one more time with the mallet and just make sure everything's seated properly. Everything seems like it's seated pretty good now, except for this one corner. It seems like that could go down a little bit further, and I smacked it a bunch of times with the mallet, and it just isn't getting there, but I'll try a couple more times. Yeah, I don't know, it's just not, I mean, I don't think it's gonna fall apart, but it just doesn't seem 100% in that hole. If you look closely, that one doesn't seem nearly as far down as that one, and all the rest of them. So that's kind of weird, I don't know what's going on there, but it seems like it's in good enough. Now all we have left are these center supports. Each one fits in just like that, with the hooks going into the center of each cross member. That was pretty easy. Now we can start putting the grates in. These are the shorter ones. There are 2 that are full length. And these look like they fit either way, so you can't put them in upside down, I believe. Yeah, that's right. And I'm gonna put the full length ones on the bottom 2 shelves. I don't think it really matters, but in my head it makes more sense to do this way, because if I do want to take out half of one of these to put in something tall, I guess I'd probably put it on one of the upper shelves, but I don't think it matters. That was kind of a tight fit, but I got it in there. You just gotta find the right angle to get it in there, but now that seems pretty good. I like the size of these, and they do feel pretty strong. I don't know about 2,000 pounds per shelf. I can't really test that. I don't think I'm gonna be stacking up sandbags and engine blocks on this thing, but I think it will be plenty strong for any kind of normal use. The only real flaw I found is that this crossbar has some rust on it where the coating has flaked off. And this one is kind of doing the same thing. I assume that's from packaging and shipping. This thing got sent across the ocean, so it's had a rough ride and it got exposed to salt air. But for the most part, it seems like it's in really good condition. It's pretty strong. and there's not much to complain about. And like I said earlier, I'm not gonna waste the box. I'm gonna cut it up and line a couple of the shelves with it to keep smaller things from falling through. I did that with the Husky shelves and it worked great. All right, well, I've had the Atlas shelves for a few days now, and the question is, are the Atlas shelves as good as the Husky shelves? The plain and simple answer is no, they're not. The Husky brand shelves are stronger, they're easier to put together, they look better, and when I found a set that were the same dimensions as these, they were cheaper. Actually, the Husky shelves were a little bit bigger, about 5 inches longer, 6 inches taller, and the weight capacity was an extra 500 pounds per shelf compared to the Atlas shelves. So why would you buy the Atlas shelves for $290 when you could get comparable Husky shelves from Home Depot for about $250? Right now they're actually on sale for about $230. The Atlas shelves aren't that bad, but the pricing needs to be more competitive for this to make any sense. The main thing that concerns me about the Atlas shelves is that it had rust spots right out of the box, and I still could never get that one corner to fit quite right. I mean, I don't think it's gonna fall apart or anything, but it's a really simple design and it should go together correctly the first time. There must be some kind of manufacturing defect with it, I'm not sure, but it just isn't right. And just to be completely clear, I did get these shelves for free in exchange for making this video. I hope Atlas isn't too mad at me, but I only make honest reviews and this is my honest opinion. My advice for anybody looking for shelves to put in their garage is to check around for the best price like you would anything else. The price on these might go down, and the price on the Husky shelves could go up, and in that case, it could make more sense to get the Atlas shelves. There's nothing majorly wrong with them, I'm just being nitpicky. But like I said, for comparable shelves from the Husky brand, they're gonna be stronger, cheaper, better looking, and easier to put together. You just can't really beat that, and I'm not gonna lie to my viewers about it. And unfortunately, that's all there really is to say about it. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and thanks for watching. That's a problem. Fuck. I hope that's saved. Oh my god.